Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week in the market. Stock market's freaking crashing today. This is crazy. It's August 26th. It's up, like, up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. We have a Twitter you can follow us on at Happy Money YT, as well as a Discord server. Link for those in the description. SPY really is not reacting well to what Powell says. His speech was short and basically said we're not going to pivot. So yeah, market doesn't like it. Just depends on how much up it's been priced in that he's going to pivot, and that's what we'll see. But with how big of a candle today is producing over 3% now, we might retrace back down pretty quickly. Yeah, because we haven't had a candle this big on the SPY without a big move after like kind of a top, kind of a rounding top like that, even a head and shoulders. Remember I said we're kind of building a head and shoulders here. This was part of the shoulder, it just turned into this massive candle. So, but if you look back, whereas like there are big red candles like that, and this one of course is an obvious one, but even today's actually a lot bigger than that. So I look like here after the consolidation, then here. Yeah, volatility is definitely increasing to the downside. No relief bounces at all day. It's really wild. I actually bought a call here at the bottom while Powell was speaking, because I figured I'd get the bounce. Did get the bounce. It was like 100%. Got a phone call and then didn't close it till like here. So basically broke even. But I'm glad I got out of it, because this is crazy. Usually when Fridays are this bad, Mondays are also bad, and then maybe turn it on Tuesday. Let's see, what was this? Yeah, that was like middle of the week. Into Friday. Yeah, I don't know. It's not looking good for next week. Maybe a little relief bounce, but I don't know if it'll happen Monday or Tuesday or when. But we've got our red candle under the 9. We've got a bearish MACD. Even have this little head and shoulders. Really, we don't have any more legit data until CPI, which is I think the 13th September. Yeah. So market might be coming down before CPI now. So it's looking like GME, honestly, holding up pretty well with how bad the SPY is doing. But it's already basically had its huge move down the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks on GME has been actually pretty surprising as well. This has been one of the worst 2 weeks, I'd say. We even got this little megaphone top it's calling out now. I don't quite see it though, because it's not finished. It'd have to break out of this down the bottom of this megaphone. So not sure if it's calling it with this like wedge, with this ascending wedge here. I don't know. I don't think so, because it's today. Not using that moving average, so I don't know. Anyways, the downside target on that thing is giving it 15 to 18 in 30 days, and if the market keeps coming down, it could. I still think we should get a little bounce here and there. It shouldn't just come straight down like it has been. It's kind of crazy. This just reminds me of when Citadel got their last loan right here for $1 billion, and then we had that, and yeah, that's the last time I think we've really seen this kind of price action right like this. Turn off those technicals. Look at the weekly. Yeah, look at these 2 weeks just with no relief. I mean, these were big 2 weeks for sure, but there's a much higher price, so you expect more volatility. Still haven't even crossed bearish on the MACD though, so it could just be a big consolidation on this wedge, just creating a huge range. And even our 50 and 200 moving averages haven't crossed back over, so we're still on that golden cross. 50 is still over the 200. So earnings has been announced for GameStop. It is right here. Let's see, what is that? What day is that? 9/7. Is that right? Yeah. So September 7th on a Wednesday. We'll see. Last time we had a rally into earnings. Before that we had a rally after earnings. And then this is, I think, one of the only times it's just been kind of in the middle of a downtrend. and I feel like this is kind of what we're going to be seeing. We've had this downtrend. I think we might get a little bounce, and then we're going to have our earnings. I don't know. Hopefully we stay bullish on that weekly. That longer term trend would be nice to hold. A SPY just continues to flush here. It's crazy. Other earnings kind of rallied into it. I think these were just part of the cycle, not necessarily earnings. But sometimes they use earnings to move the price big. Like this earnings, they dumped it after earnings, but then it actually ripped up. This one had a big rally into earnings. This was kind of a mid-cycle earnings. So see, they dumped it, and then I think we had a bunch of FTDs or something due the next day, or the day after. Huge rip out of there. I remember that day was very unusual. So far, I mean, the momentum's definitely down. We broke through support. Our divergences to the bullish side have been depleted. So I would look for support at this 29.43, 28.48, and just see if we hold basically the bottom of this flag. And that would probably bring our MACD back closer to the signal. Oh man, with this SPY just so weak. This is a big day out of nowhere. I mean, we're expecting some volatility from Powell. I think it's kind of an overreaction though. That's why I'm like kind of hesitant to go big bear. But I mean, that's a huge candle with increasing volume. You see the red volume bars are larger, so money scared basically. More volume is selling than buying. And today is definitely an indication of that. Just no bounce. If we had a bounce, and I still might, but I'd probably get some puts for Monday, because bad Friday like this, typically you'd get a bad Monday. Wow, this is crazy. Let's see what else happened today. We had the IPO. So I had two IPOs. Two that I could have gotten filled on. So JFBR, I got $2,000 worth, and it was some warrants and then some shares. And then EXMD, I actually decided to cancel that one. I can't remember why. I was just like, something I didn't like about it, and I just kind of got nervous. Maybe, I don't know. I got the email saying, oh, there's your last chance to cancel, and I was like, I've got a lot of these. Maybe I won't do this one. I can't remember. There was some other reason too. Maybe the float was a little bigger, or maybe just because it was medical. I'm not sure. But JFBR opened up down like 20-30%, and then halted going down, and then halted going up. And during this halt, the warrants are still trading, so my warrant was up quite a bit. So here's the warrant ticker, JFBRW. So I was able to sell the warrant ticker and make, I think, 200 on that. And then the stock, though, I wasn't able to. I actually took a loss on it. Just because I was waiting for volume and it never really came in. I was hoping for the float. If the float gets traded and it's holding a pretty good level in the first 10-15 minutes, that's a good sign. But this thing clearly didn't. So I actually sold here. Took like a $600 loss on the shares, and then I think like a $200 gain on the warrants, which is weird. I've never had a warrant before. Yeah, so $212 gain on the warrant, and then $630 loss in the shares. So that one didn't work. But what's funny is the one I dipped out of actually did work. This one I was able to get the shares actually about where it's at now. But it opened up like 20% up and then went up close to 100%. So, of course, if you timed it perfectly, it'd be great. But not to say I wouldn't have been able to actually make some pretty good money on this one. So I pulled out of the wrong one and didn't stay, and stayed in the wrong one. None of them are Asian IPOs, which is kind of what I was looking for, but just wanted to kind of dip into it a little bit. Still have orders. I've still applied for WLDS, MCLDP, HPCO, and BIAF. This one's a biotech company, maybe. The deadline form, so 8/31, 8/29. So we've got next week for the deadline on those. And the listing is 8/30 on those and 9/01 on those. We'll see. So I've got some time, I think, to cancel those. It'll give me, Webull emails you like an hour before if you want to modify your order or cancel it. And then after that hour, then they'll allocate the shares to you. So Yeah, that's how that went. And SPY is flushing on the E-Trade account. That's crazy. Let's see, there's the SPY call. Made a little bit on that. Closed some of my long calls after SPY started dumping. So Apron had a little gain on it. Took a loss on STBX. Took a little gain on Weber. Options weren't moving great, and I don't know. Want to get out of some longs. Opened up a short actually at 107, 116 put debit spread on Google. Expiring in September 9th. So this market, this is crazy. So Google options are really liquid, which is nice. Definitely right under the 9 moving average, bearish MACD. Kind of a little head and shoulders here even. It's hard to see with that thing on. Yeah, a little shoulder head, real similar to SPY really. And yeah, we'll see if it breaks through this kind of support it's built. I think it'd be a long ways down, which very well could be, and that's with the SPY also, really. And then where's it showing up? Like in a triangle, I think it's breaking out of. Maybe not. Wasn't here somewhere. Draws it so nicely. Whatever. So I got into that one, and this is a very safe option play. So there's a spread. And it's up a little bit. I just opened it, but if you look, when I opened it, the stock was at 112, and basically my break even on it's 112, and that just has to do with the spread. So I could sit on this play until it expires, and if it's at the same price that I opened it, I basically wouldn't be losing any money. So nice safe option play, but I've got downside exposure. As you see here, max gain on it is if it goes down to 106.95, and so the spread, the long leg's pretty good in the money. It's 107 put, or sorry, the short leg's 107 and the long leg is 116 put. So pretty deep in the money on the long, and then just a little out of the money on the short. Let's see, actually, if I show you on the option chain. So this is similar, I guess, to like a short zebra in a way, but it's not really. But to me, I see it that way just because it's the break even is where the price is at right now. I don't know, what is it, September 2nd? I can't remember where I got it. Anyways, yeah, it's in there somewhere. GME. What is this? Oh, they closed me out of my call debit spread. GME never had its bounce. Yep, never got it. I opened up some nerdy calls. Premiums are actually pretty low, and this thing's been moving quite a bit. NRDY. So yeah, the premiums were like 170% IV, which for the movement it's had, it seemed pretty low to me. So got into some of those. It looks pretty nice. I don't know the catalyst. A lot of volume here. Had earnings. We've got everything I like for a good move to the upside. So I picked up a couple, let's see, 3 $5 calls for September. And then here's a SPY call I bought for a bounce just a little bit ago. Hasn't happened. My short calls on BBBY, of course, I closed those for max gain, more or less. Closed them for a minimum. So now I just have these long calls on spot or on BBBY for January at 6 strike. And those I will be just leaving naked for now, because I think BBY could have a big move before next Friday. So I'm just gonna leave those leaps or long calls, whatever, for now, and then maybe sell some premium on them. We'll see. And then on TD, I was able to roll. So I saw my BBYs on here, my 10 strike, and look at these things gaining value. BBBY did have a bit of a move up today. I don't remember if that was yesterday or the day before. They secured. There was bullish news. Oh, they came out with their like press release of more details on. I think I said that in yesterday's video. But today's kind of a continuation of that. And then it kind of had a couple random pops in here during the day. GME did too, actually, kind of odd. Like right here, had some volume, broke through VWAP. Not sure what was going on. But this thing's only moved up a little bit, but the Theta Farm is growing nicely on it, even though it's only up a little bit from my strike of 10. The GME short puts on here, it was 21.5 or 31.5 and didn't look like it was going to close above that, so I just rolled it. I rolled it way down in case GME keeps going down heavy with the market. So rolled it as far as I could, which was 28 put, and just received a little credit for that. So that's another 100 shares basically at 28 by next Friday. On Fidelity, my strike was much higher, so was not able to roll it as low because it was further in the money. Yeah, so here's my 10 put on my short put on BBBY. Got 60 of those, and then 5 of these GME short puts for 31. I was only able to roll it down, what, 50 cents? So I think it was a 31.5 I had, maybe 32 as far as receiving a credit. So 31's still nice. That's a nice price. You know, it's at 31.22 right now, so happy with that. Borrow fees still kind of coming down a little bit on GME. I haven't checked BBBY. Short interest on BBY is like outrageous. It's over 100%. I saw a post for that. Oh, this has come down a lot. Okay. Yeah, BBY's come down a lot. The phase 6 or whatever on the margin thing. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but that potentially could be active on September 1st. We'll see. Yeah, phase 6 initial margin requirements. Gecko was sharing that. I haven't hyped up those dates too much with stuff going on in the back end. It doesn't seem to happen or do much. So yeah, I don't know about that. But there's definitely some still bullish sentiment on Wall Street bets with BBY. I don't think that plays over at all. So yeah, I think news at the end of the month could be good. I'm hopeful for that. What other plays do we do today? Yeah, Nerdy calls down a little bit. So my big Tesla put debit spread, I don't really know. It's all confusing because it got split, so I don't know my cost basis or open net gain on it. Very confusing, kind of annoying. But it's up, I believe. And yeah, only downside, I have this big SPY put debit spread, which is pretty far out of the money. Got 21 days on it, so some exposure on that. Got wrecked on GME calls this week, unfortunately, but yeah, not too much to where I can't keep trading. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Twitter Spaces maybe. All right, peace out.